We have MJ joining us now. Thank you for joining Fan Carpet. We're really excited. MJ is the director of the movie Slasher House 2, and he's here to talk about the movie a bit more, and maybe the process as well. We're here celebrating women in horror. So what does that mean for you as a man to see more women approaching this industry, and how do you feel about it?
I think it's a really, really good thing. I mean, anyone who's seen any of our films know that, you know, strong female characters and strong women are a huge, huge part of that, you know. So I think to see women getting the recognition that they kind of deserve, because I think that there's always been a lot of women in front of the camera. And you know, over time a lot of female directors have got their kind of dues, but I think there's a lot of women who actually work on film sets who get completely overlooked, and I think that should be, because it is quite a male dominated area, but I think that, you know, that should definitely be brought to light. I think Women in Horror Month's a great chance to do that, to say, you know, just because you're not running the show or you're not in front of the camera doesn't mean that you can't have your moment in the spotlight. And I think there's a lot of assistant directors and producers, and, you know, that we've worked with who are so talented, costume designers, makeup artists, and I think Women in Horror Month is, like I say, a great way to shine the spotlight on those people as well.
What is your experience in the industry, not just as a man, but as an artist? What was the defining moment for you when you decided, this is where I need to be? I need to be a filmmaker, and horror is the genre I'm going to be expressing myself in.
It all sounds very cheesy, but I think I always knew what I wanted to do. I think the thing that's really cemented it I mean, when I was very young, I loved the Universal horror monster, you know, the Mummy was one of the first kind of horror-y things I ever saw, and I was just really intrigued by it. But I think when I was about 10 or 11 years old, I saw John Carpenter's Halloween, and I think from that moment on, I can't remember a time when I didn't think, I'm going to go and make horror movies, I'm going to go and scare people, you know.
Are there any other genres which are connected maybe, or close to horror, that interest you, or you'd like to kind of play a bit of a part in?
Well, every single genre, I think, is quite an exciting thing to work in, and the kind of beauty of the way that we do things is we have a kind of shared universe, and every single film kind of has its own genre.
Okay.
So although they're all part of kind of the same bigger story, Slasher House was kind of like, you know, a kind of House of Dracula kind of battle royale, you know, all the monsters fight each other, you know, so it was that kind of movie. And then Legacy of Thorn was more of kind of a sci-fi action based on Terminator, and then Cleaver had more of a cop thriller element, and then Hollower, which saw the fourth one, was like a psychological thriller, and then Slash House 2 is kind of like Blade meets 80s slasher movies, you know, so it's predominantly kind of an action movie that has horror elements in it. And I think that's kind of what's great about horror, is that you can also work in all those other genres, you know, and so you kind of have to skill yourself in all these genres as each project kind of progresses.
And talking about skills and experiences, what did you find was the most challenging and the most rewarding part of filming this movie, and probably the first one as well? So
well, they were both complete. Obviously, we shot them 5 or 6 years apart, I think.
Right.
So the first one we shot in 2010, and the next one we shot in 2015. We started shooting. So there's a good. So the challenges were completely different, because obviously the first film was the first, you know, big film with a budget that I ever made. So it had its own set of challenges, and there was a huge learning curve just trying to figure out, you know, exactly what I was doing, really. This one had a completely different set of challenges, because although now I felt like I knew what I wanted, it was trying to make that happen on a very small budget with the people we had available, and it was absolutely exhausting.
Has the technology changed or helped in any way? Because
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think back to 2009, which is not long ago, really, the idea of shooting kind of in high definition was for people who had a lot of money, you know. So we were still shooting kind of on mini DV tapes, and the technology since then has closed and closed and closed until now. You know, we shot on like a £1,000 camera last year that kind of battles alongside big high quality production stuff And that's only in a space of 5 or 6 years that quality is closed
So
in.
it's creating more opportunities for filmmaker on small budgets.
Not having to shoot on film and things like that. It's just made everything cheaper and made it more accessible to everyone, and I think that's a really good thing.
And we just heard that you have plenty more projects you're working on. I'm assuming you are collaborating again with your wife. Can you tell us a bit more of the next ones and how you're starting to work on the next project?
Well, we've been kind of in pre-production slowly for like the last 6 months or so, just putting it together. But it's, I wanted to go back and make the film that I wanted to make when this stuff wasn't accessible. When I was a kid, what I really wanted to do was kind of get like, a video, with one of these big VHS cameras and go and shoot this movie, basically. And at the time, that kind of thing wasn't accessible to someone like me. My family didn't have a lot of money or anything like that, so I couldn't just go out and shoot a movie. That was kind of for people who had money. Yeah. So now I've kind of seen an opportunity, because we made Legacy of Thorn, that was kind of set in the middle of this story that I wrote years and years ago, and I kind of looked and went, right, hang on, we've got an opportunity now to kind of approach a prequel to it in the same sensibility that I would have when I was young, and it's set in the 80s, so that was kind of perfect. So we thought, right, well, we'll approach it kind of as authentically.
It's very cool, very Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's like a theme now.
Well, yeah, no, so that's a really good thing, because that's kind of coming up as well. So we figured, right, this is a kind of really good time to kind of approach it with that 80s sensibility and kind of trying to make it as authentic to that era.
And who doesn't love the 80s? Just best decade.
Best era going.
I was born in the 80s. That's not the only reason. Thank you so much for talking to us, and we're looking forward to watching it together. And thank you very much for watching us from home. And yes, thank you.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.